Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Flip Side of Mud. We are on continuing our video series of 58,000 Lives, a tribute to the fallen. This is video 13. We're still in the A's, we're still in atoms, so we got a ways to go. Usually I do this after I eat, and I end up messing up my throat all the time. So this time we're going to do it as I eat, so maybe it won't be so bad. It's not video, is not sponsored by Sonic, by the way, unless they want to pay me. So, update. I haven't been doing any writing. I've been really busy this weekend. So, I'm probably on the same spot I was last time. We are on number 305 out of 58,000. In the videos, we're on 241. So, I'm ahead still under 200. So, I need to continue under 100. So, I need to continue writing because if I do 2 more videos, I'm going to be right up on my doorstep. So, I'm going to do a video series tonight, and then I'm going to try and go home, and everything's so crooked right now for some reason. I'm going to go home and try and write down for the next video, stay ahead. I was going to do 2 videos tonight, so I'm going to do 1 tomorrow night, so I definitely need to write down some tonight. But anyway, like I said, we're on this video 13 of the Vietnam War series. Let me get out my handy dandy camera, and we can get started. I still have no update on the Ghost video 5. 10 second, 10 minute mark. No one has told me about the Ghost yet. So I still have nobody said anything about the Ghost, which is crazy. Make sure we're in the right spot. Freedom Adams Jr., PFC. Make sure this guy's born the right time. All right, yeah, we're in the right spot. All right, we're going to start on this video series. Like I said, we're on 241. We're going to go to 260 and start 261 tomorrow, video 14. We're in the A, Atoms. We've got a long ways to go. Don't forget to go to video 10, 10 minute, video 5, 10 minute, 10 second mark, and look for the Ghost in this corner. All right, let's get right into it, guys. Let's do 20 of these so I can eat my dinner. This is number 241, PFC Steedman Adams Jr. That's a crazy first name, Steedman. I've never heard that as a first name. Look at that name of that county or home record. It's not what his birthday is, but his home record. I'm going to try to pronounce that. But it says he was born March 1st, 1946 in Columbus, North Carolina. His home record is Cerro Gordo, North Carolina. Never heard of it. Ain't that crazy? Why is my hat all like? Feels like my hat is all out of whack. I hate that feeling. Everything's backwards on the camera. It's really hard to adjust. Okay. He died March 15th, 1966. He was 20 in Quang Ngai, Vietnam. He was with A Company, 1st Battalion, 35th Infantry Regiment, called the Cacti Forever. Great name, right? 25th Infantry Division. He died from small arms fire grenade. It says see photo. That means it was way too long to write down, so I will have it on here, which I have 2 pictures of the story. It was just, sometimes it's just not worth writing down. I'm just going to read off of the bulletin board material that I got from this one. Okay. Operation Garfield, February 25th, February 25th, March 24th, 1966. He died March 14th, so somewhere right there in the middle. Was a 3rd Brigade, 25th Infantry Division operation in Dar Lac Province, RVM. The brigade was searching for North Vietnamese Army, or the NVA, forces north and west of the province capital, in Ban Mi Thuot. On March 14th, the 1st of the 35th Infantry Regiment settled into a landing zone approximately 13 kilometers northwest of Ban Bering. What did he say he died? The 15th, so he died the next day. Okay. During the night, an enemy force fired 40 to 50 mortar rounds at the perimeter, all the rounds falling short. In the following morning, Company A searched in the direction from which the barrage had come. The troopers found a number of unfired rounds, a booklet with firing tables, and a history of the enemy's unit operation over the previous year. Wow. They spent the next 3 hours moving northwest along the stream. Around noon, the platoon leader decided to return to base, but shortly afterward, his point man discovered a wire and started to follow it to its source. When he did, the NVA troops who had been watching all along brought the platoon under fire. Although outnumbered, the Americans held their own against possibly 2 reinforced companies. Within 15 minutes, a forward air controller brought in the first of what would become 16 tactical air sorties over the afternoon. At 1:15 p.m., the commander of Company A, air assault, in with another platoon. The enemy attacked and inflicted casualties on the arriving troops. In the end, the North Vietnamese got the worst of it as shells from the nearby 2nd Battalion, 9th Artillery rained down upon them. About a half hour, a 3rd platoon landed. The company then counterattacked, overrunning the pursuing NVA, and they fled. Meanwhile, the artillery in close air support pounded likely avenues of escape. The Americans conducted a 3-hour search, which resulted in 21 NVA killed, North Vietnamese. The Americans suffered 11 dead and 27 wounded. The personnel included, I'm not going to read all their names, but Stedman Adams Jr. was one of the ones killed. Enemy casualties came to 36 known killed and possibly another 100 killed. The Americans captured 12 rifles and an American M79 grenade launcher. Now you see why I didn't write that down. It's so much easier just to read it all. Crazy story. Okay, let's roll into the next one. This is, we didn't do it. We didn't do everything. PFC Stephen Adams Jr. is on panel 6E, line 9 of the Vietnam War Memorial. Let's give PFC Adams a moment of silence. And we thank him for his service. I started to jump ahead of myself. This is PFC Stephen Hamilton Adams. Born February 19, 1949 in Maryland. Home records Clarksville, Maryland. He died March 16, 1968. He was 19 in Dien Hue, Vietnam. He was with H Company, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marine Regiment, 1st Division. Died from small arms fire. Like I said, there's always a lot of those. That's all the information I could find. He is on panel 44E, line 64 of the War Memorial. If you guys want to look him up, let's give PFC Stephen Adams a moment of silence. Thank him for his service. Okay, this is Master Sergeant Stephen Harold Adams. Born September 25th, 1944 in Iowa. His home record Spencer. Died October 18th, 1966. He was 22 in Vietnam. He's with the 37th ARRS, 3rd AARG, and 7th Air Force. I think that's what that said. He was aboard an H-16 Albatross aircraft. I looked up Albatross. Albatross is one of those water landing craft sent out to rescue a downed pilot so they could land in the water, like, the duck boats. To recover a downed pilot in the Gulf of Tonkin, which was done in terrible weather. He was a parajumper / frogman and was a member of an elite pararescue team called the PJs. 2 A-1E Skyhawks escorted them until the mission was over. Then they returned to base. The last contact about halfway back with them, so they come halfway back there. Of course, Air Force are going to go way faster. They're jets. So the last contact with them was about halfway back, 35 miles. So they were 70 miles offshore. All crew were lost. 7 of them was lost trying to rescue a downed pilot. He was considered MIA. He's on panel 11E, line 85 of the War Memorial, if you want to look him up. Let's give Master Sergeant Stephen Harold a moment of silence. And thank him for his service. Okay, this is PFC Stephen Jack Adams. He was born April 22nd, 1948 in Springfield, Ohio. Died March 3rd, 1967. He was 18 in Tay Nguyen, Vietnam. He was a bronze medal winner. Oh, not a winner, you win a trophy, but he was awarded the bronze medal. Let me say that correctly. He was A Company 2nd Battalion, 503rd Infantry, 173rd Airborne Brigade. He was in Operation Junction City when they were engaged by a large hostile force. He died of multiple frag wounds from a grenade. I try every time there's a Bronze Star or above, I try to look him up to find out why they got it, but I couldn't find anything on this one. So I apologize for not getting more information. He's on panel 16E, line 6 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give PFC Stephen Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. I'm just going to open my food here. I may not start eating it because it's noisy, but I didn't go crazy. I just got some snacks, so I got some little small onion ring and a mozzarella stick. Yeah, I do want to eat it before it gets cold, so I will start on it. Okay, this is PFC Ted Wayne Adams. Get her straight there. Ted Wayne Adams, born July 31st, 1944 in Beaumont, Texas. Did I say died? Born. Died November 15th, 1966. He was 22 in Vietnam. He was with A Company, 2nd Battalion, 8th Infantry Regiment, 4th Infantry Division. He was the third casualty of the war. Total. So out of all the 58,000, he was the third person killed. I didn't get any more info than that, which is crazy. Somebody, being that close to the first. I did go over the first person. Well, it wasn't the first person, it was the first Marine. We did his earlier in one of the earlier videos. But like I said, he was the third person killed of the war. I had no info. Only MIA. I don't know what. His infantry lost 2,531 and wounded 15,229 of the whole war. Wow. I don't know the numbers of an infantry. I don't know how much infantry is because I was in the Navy. We didn't do infantry regiments. I don't know how many is an infantry, but it seems to be a high number. He's on panel 12E, line 76 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give PFC Ted Wayne Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service to our country. Sorry, I have to eat. I'm not starving. Okay, this is Corporal Terrence Dean Adams. Born January 1st, 1942 in Weiser, Idaho. He died January 30th, 1966. He was 66. He was 24 in Quang Nam, Vietnam. Company F, 9th Marine, 3rd Marine Division. Died from multiple frag wounds. No other info. He's on panel 4E, lines 117 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Corporal Terrence Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. I thought they barbecued my onion rings for a minute. When I looked in there, it looks like barbecue. I was like, who put barbecue on my onion rings? It's not, it's just burnt, I guess. Okay. This is Corporal Terry Lee Adams. Born October 14, 1947 in Bessemer, North Carolina. Bessemer City. Died July 14, 1967. He was 19. In Quang Nam, Vietnam. He was with E Company 2nd Battalion, 1st Marine Division. He was with his unit on a night ambush patrol. At 3 a.m., Adams climbed over a wall to enter a Marine squadron's position. He was mistaken for the enemy. 2 Marines opened fire, hitting and killing him in the chest and the back of his head. I get so tired of these friendly fires. Accidental, yes. Absolutely horrible, yes. I mean, he's on night patrol. And I guess he didn't know the Marines were on the other side of the wall. He's on panel 23E, line 68 on the Wall Memorial. Let's give Corporal Terry Lee Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service to our country. This is First Lieutenant Thomas B. Adams. He was born December 6, 1946, in Shelbyville, Delaware. He died March 4th, 1968. He was 21. He was in Company D, 52nd WF Regiment. The Ready Rifles was the name of his company. He was killed by a sniper, probably because the previous day he found and destroyed a tunnel filled with the enemy. So I guess a sniper went and picked him off because he found. He didn't say how many was in the enemy in the tunnel, but he killed a bunch in the tunnel. So I guess they assassinated him. He's on panel 42E, line 60 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give First Lieutenant Thomas B. Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. This is Warrant Officer Thomas Edward Adams. Born May 17, 1942, in Orange County, New York. Died December 31st, 1967. He was 25. In Quang Tung, Vietnam. He was with the 498th Medical Group Company called Air Ambulance, 55th Medical Group, 44th Medical Brigade. On December 31st, a UH-1A helicopter was in flight at 4,600 foot when it made a left turn, crashed into the trees on a hilltop. The weather was a factor. Strong winds were 40 knots, turbulence and low-lying clouds, so they didn't even see the trees. It's on panel 33E, line 6 of the Wall Memorial. This is a veteran suicide hotline for everybody. Let's give Warrant Officer Thomas Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. This is SN, Seaman Thomas Edward Adams. Born November 5th, 1945. Died February 27th, 1969. He was 23. In Quang Nam, Vietnam. 2 enemy 122mm rounds slammed into MAV support covered storage area, causing extensive damage, including wounded 13 Navy men. More rockets were lobbed at the bridge loading ramp. It destroyed at LCU 1500. The ammo was detonated in the LCU, causing an explosion, with fire spreading to another craft. Total casualties were 21 men and 38 wounded. Wow. That's insane. Hit the ammo. I was an aviation ordnanceman in the Navy, so that was my job. He's on panel 31W, line 75 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Seaman Thomas Edward Adams a moment of silence. Thank him for his service. Okay, this is PFC Walter Lee Adams. Born December 27, 1946, McIntosh, Alabama. That's about an hour north of where my kids live in Mobile. Died June 10th, 1967. He was 20. And CIA, LIA, Vietnam. Chi Li. He's a 67th Maintenance Battalion. Their perimeter. I'm having a rough time. Their perimeter was penetrated by a barefooted Viet Cong wearing black shorts and carrying an AK-47, Shia Kong grenades, and explosive charges. They also cut a fence and tied down the trip flares. So they tied down the trip flares and snuck in a barefooted Viet Cong wearing bombs. One grenade was thrown at the ground. My apologies. One grenade was thrown at the guard post, killing Adams. So he was on guard duty. He's on panel 21E, line 82 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give, what did I just say his rank was? I'm losing it, guys. Private First Class Walter Adams, a moment of silence. And we thank him for his service. This is Sergeant Wayne Roger Adams. Was born July 13, 1948 in Dayton, Ohio. Died November 16, 1967. He was 19 in Quang Ninh Ai, Vietnam. He was a C Company 2nd Battalion, 27th Infantry Regiment, 25th Infantry Division. Died from multiple frag wounds. Only information I could find. He's on panel 29E, line 103 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Sergeant Wayne Roger Adams a moment of silence. And we thank him for his service. This is Sergeant William Carl Adams. There was 120-something Adams. Born October 2nd, 1945 in Concordia, Kansas. Died August 23rd, 1969. He was 23. Quang Nam, Vietnam. He was with G Group, 2nd Battalion, 17th Marine, 1st Marine Division Regiment. His company moved towards a small knoll where they were ambushed by snipers, killing anyone. Hold on. When they were ambushed by snipers, killing one, and movement to save him would cause heavy fire. So it's like they wounded him on purpose to get him to come help and to kill more. Halfway up, another Marine was killed, driving the rest back down. They called in air support. A second attempt to recover the casualties ended in failure, with the loss of yet another Marine killed and 2 wounded. Sergeant Adams was one of the casualties. He was presented in a silver star. He was presented with a silver star for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action. I can't read. Apparently, he's on panel 19W, line 99 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Sergeant William Carl Adams a moment of silence. It's probably integrity. Thank him for his service. This is Major William Edward Adams. He was born June 16, 1939 in Casper, Wyoming. Died May 25th, 1971. He was 31 in Con Tum, Vietnam. He was a Medal of Honor recipient. Helicopter pilot of the A-227th Assault Heli Company, 32nd Aviation Battalion, 1st Aviation Brigade. Major Adams volunteered to fly a lightly armored heli aircraft in an attempt to evacuate 3 seriously wounded soldiers from Small Arms Base, which was under attack by a larger force. He made the decision with full knowledge of the aircraft's weapons around the base, and the clear weather would allow an enemy an easy view. As he approached, the gunners opened fire with heavy machine guns and rockets. Undeterred, he continued his approach. He calmly directed the attacks of supporting gunships while maintaining control of his helicopter. He landed and waited until the wounded soldiers were placed aboard. As he departed, it was hit and began descending. Flying with exceptional skills, he regained control and attempted a controlled landing. Despite his efforts, the helicopter exploded, overturned, and plummeted. What a story. This guy's very brave, very brave. He's on panel 3W, line 54 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Medal of Honor award recipient Major William Edward Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. It would be hard to be followed up by that Medal of Honor winner. This is Sergeant William Ernest Adams. Born February 19, 1942 in El Paso, Texas. He died February 26, 1968. He was 26 in Quang Tri, Vietnam. He was a G Company 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division. Died from small arms fire to the body. He's on panel 41E, line 34 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Sergeant William Ernest Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service to our country so we may be free, and the ultimate sacrifice all of these heroes made. A lot of them didn't want to. A lot of them got drafted, so which is even worse. Okay, this is SP5 William J. Adams. Born March 29, 1945 in Canton, Ohio. Died January 6, 1968. He was 21 in Vinh Lo, Vietnam. Military Intelligence Advisory Team 52. Died from an explosive device. While returning from an operation, his vehicle he was riding in was ambushed by the Viet Cong force. Reacting immediately, he radioed an alert of the ambush to other forces in the vicinity, to include an O-1 observation aircraft. Although outnumbered with the enemy closing in from all sides, he valiantly began to return fire with his weapon. He remained in his I can't read. It's my own writing. He remained in his untenable position, beating back enemy thrust until he fell mortally wounded. As a result of his radio missions, the aircraft was able to forewarn a much larger friendly force that was moving into the ambush zone, thus preventing a large-scale disaster. Why was he not given a Medal of Honor or a citation, Bronze Star, Silver Star, whatever? I don't understand. I put a star next to it so I could look into it more. But he's on line 33E, panel 33E, line 55 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give SP5 William J. Adams a moment of silence. Thank him for his service. This is PFC William James Adams. He was born July 14, 1947 in Iowa City, Iowa. He died May 18, 1969. He was 21 in Quang Tum, Vietnam. He was a D Company 2nd Battalion, 35th Infantry, 4th Infantry Division. Died from small arms fire. His unit was ambushed on the road. That's the only thing it would say. He's on panel 24W, line 35 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give PFC Adams, William James Adams, a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. This is Corporal William Adams, Jr. He was born on April 4th, 1947 in Norfolk, Virginia. Died April 19, 1968. He's 21 years old. Quang Tri, Vietnam. He was a B Company 1st Battalion, 12th Marine Regiment, 3rd Marine Division. Williams and several Marines left the base on a 5-truck convoy for the ammunition supply point. He and the several Marines left on a fire truck. He and several Marines left on a 5-truck convoy for the ammunition supply point. His convoy was ambushed by hostile forces. He died from multiple gunshot wounds to the head and body. They lost 27 men in an ambush. He's on panel 50E, line 44 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Corporal William Adams a moment of silence. And thank him for his service. Some of these are getting to me, obviously. This is PFC William Othello Adams Jr. Some of these stories just really, really bothered me. He was born February the 6th, 1949 in Greenwood, South Carolina. He died May 27th, 1968. Why do I have 9 on here? I don't know. He was 19. I don't know why. He was 9. Was he 19? Yeah. Quang Tri Vietnam. His 9th Marine Amphibious Brigade, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines M Company. During the Battle of Khesanah, 2 words, Khesanah, the longest and deadliest battle of the war, the U.S. launched a massive bombardment of 100,000 tons of bombs, 57 tons of bombs for every one of the 20,000 ENVA soldiers, 57 tons per soldier. It cost an estimated 1,000. No. It cost an estimated 1,000 U.S. lives and 10 times that of the NVA. He was one of the deceased. So in the one battle, our own military dropped 100,000 tons of bombs, killing 1,000 of our own soldiers. That just... God dang, that pisses me off. Yes, they killed 10,000 NVA, but you shouldn't have killed one of our own soldiers. One, you killed 1,000. That means out of 58,000 names on here, this is the first one of this in this war battle. I had to read 999 more names with this same story. So I'm going to have to get pissed off 1,000 times with this exact same paragraph with another person's name in it. That is bullshit. Bullshit. We killed 1,000 of our own men. I'm sorry, William Adams. Our country was stupid. He's on panel 65W, line 3 of the Wall Memorial. I don't know if I can get over this one. I'm already pissed off at the casualties in here that are friendly fire, but 1,000 so far out of 300 or 260, I've been about 25% was friendly fire. 25%. Now I'm at 1,000 in one story, so it's more like I'm up 5,000%. Is all friendly fire. How many of the 58,000 did we kill ourselves? The 28,000, I think I did the math. It was like 19,000 plus this 1,000. So you're telling me we killed 20,000 of our own men on accident? By friendly fire? We lost 58,000 men and 20,000 of them are friendly fire kills by our own government? I better move on because if I come back, I'm going to be pissed. And I got to do this 999 more times. Let's go on to the next one because I've only got to read 2 more. Now I have to sit around and think about this. I wrote the story, but it never hit me when I wrote it down. Not the story, but I wrote down what they said. And I don't think it just didn't hit me when I wrote it down. I can't believe I just wrote down 1,000 people died in that freaking one bombardment. Oh, our government's stupid sometimes. This is Corporal William Raymond. We didn't give him a moment of silence. Let's give PFC William Othello Adams Jr. a long moment of silence. We thank all them 1,000 damn heroes for their service. Okay, this is Corporal William Raymond Adams. I apologize for all these names that come after for the next few. I'm going to be a little irate. He was born January 19, 1948. His home record was Ramsey, Illinois. He died October 10, 1969. He was 21. And PHVOC, Vietnam. The Company C, 8th Cavalry. Billy was among troops being lifted out of the war zone. While lifting, that means being rescued. While lifting out, the main rotor blade struck a tree on the right side of the aircraft, about 75 feet from the ground. It then nosedived, rolled, and crashed. 2 were injured. 5 men died, including Billy. Being rescued and you die. Vietnam is just terrible. There was not that really many that got killed by the Vietnam. If you think about it, about the Viet Cong, if 30-40% of them die by friendly fire, and then there's a few in here that's self-inflicted and murdered, and then stuff like this, accidental. They didn't kill 58,000. They might have killed 20,000. So 38,000 might have died when they shouldn't have. This is stupid. This is really stupid. I have to sit here and read 58,000 names, and I'm only on 260. Am I going to get through this list without breaking something? Probably not. He's on panel 17W, line 60. This was the last one, by the way, of the Wall Memorial. I had to read the second to last one to piss me off. Let's give Corporal William Raymond Adams a moment of silence. Like taking for his country. I don't know if y'all can tell my face is just doubled in red. I was telling a woman about this what I was doing, and I told her about the friendly fire, and she was disgusted at the 25% that I have read so far. I don't remember the story, or I would have told her, and she probably would have cried. 1,000 men died for our own bombardment. Lyndon B. Johnson, I'm blaming this on you. I don't know if it was him during that day or if it was. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm blaming somebody. It's freaking ridiculous. I apologize for flaring up on that, but that's just stupid. I should have even read that. And I got to do it 999 more times. The same freaking story out of the next 57,000 plus names. 999, I might have to read the same story with a different name. Bunch of bullshit. I'm putting this in the title. I've just been putting the name in the title. But I'm going to put him there, the next to last one, in the instructions that this is bullshit. I hope the government sees this. See you on the next one.